गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। चरण कमल को हंस हंस देखूं, चरण कमल को हंस हंस देखूं, राखों नैना नेरे गोविंद राखों नैना मेरे। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। व्याकुल प्राण धरे नहीं धीरज, व्याकुल प्राण धरे नहीं धीरज, मिल तो मीत सवेरा गोविंद मिल तो मीत सवेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। निरीक्षण को मोहे चावो घनेरो, निरीक्षण को मोहे चावो घनेरो, कब देखूं मुख तेरा गोविंद कब देखूं मुख तेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नगर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नगर, ताप तपन बहु तेरा गोविंद ताप तपन बहु तेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा गोविंद कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। कबहू मिले पिया मेरा कबहू मिले पिया मेरा। बोले आनंद कंद भगवान की।
कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद
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 हे गोपाल राधा 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 कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद
कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद 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 कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद
हे गोपाल राधा 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 कृष्ण गोविंद गोविंद।
Something is buzzing.
राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद्र अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद्र अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंग राधे गोविंद पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंग राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद्र अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद नंद कुमारा नवनीत चोरा राधे गोविंद नंद कुमारा नवनीत चोरा राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद्र अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोविंद, राधे 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 गोविंद, राधे गोविंद, राधे गोविंद। वृंदावन चंद्र, वृंदावन चंद्र, अनाथ अनाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद, अनाथ अनाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद, अनाथ अनाथा दीना बंधो राधे गोविंद। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Speaker is still buzzing. Is it this one? So take it off. It's this one. So something with the speaker. This one. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मन मुकुर सुधार, बरना रघुवर विमल यश, जो दायक फल चार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार, बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार, हरहु कलेश विकार। कलश लेके आ जाना। Everyone kindly stand please. Bring the kalash for me from outside and then mala.
ओम हरे ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्रवाः, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा, भृभ्यशे महिदेवहितं यदायुः।
राधे 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 गोविंद। सब गाइए मेरे पीछे। राधे 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 गोविंद, 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 राधे 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 गोविंद,
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद हरि बोल
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
बाल गोविंद
बाल गोविंद
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु हरि ओम्। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
सतया श्रद्धया युक्तः तस्याराधनमीहते
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
लभते च तत्कामान् मयैव विहितान्
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
अन्तवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भवत्यल्पमेधसाम् Krishna Kanaya Lal ki Jai. So we are in a very exciting part of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and 7th chapter is where really Bhakti Yoga starts. And previous to these two verses which I just chanted, Bhagavan gave a very famous line which I'm sure so many of you would have heard before. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. There are 4 types of devotees that worship me. Bhagavan is building a case. I'll tell you the case just now. But he says there are 4 types of devotees that worship me. Artho jignasur arthati jnani cha bharatarshava. One is called as arthaha, and one is called artharti, one is called as jignasu, and one is called as jnani. 4 types of devotees, he says, they worship him. So artaha means those people who have afflictions. We have some problem, some disease, some heartbreak, some sorrow, some misery, some anguish, some pain, something. And we want Bhagavan to take it away. I'm telling what Bhagavan says, right? I'm telling what Bhagavan says in 7th chapter. You just have to see where you fit. I don't know where you fit. You will only know where you fit. So, those people who have some affliction, some pain or sorrow or some misery, something, and they want Bhagavan to remove that, so they worship Bhagavan. They call artaha. Then, the second is called artharti, means those people who want to possess something in this world. They want anything. That will be material, immaterial also. Like, I want to pass this exam, I want to get that certificate, I want to get this degree, I want to get that money, I want to get that house, that property, I want to get that job, they want something. So he doesn't have any ailment or any such sickness or anything, but he wants something. So they worship Bhagavan to get that thing, whatever it is. Then jignasu. Jignasu means those people who want to learn shastras, learn, to chant Bhagavad Gita, learn to read scriptures or anything, any type of learning. Who wants to know? Jignasu. Jignasu literally means who wants to know. So education, that kind of thing. And especially here, along the lines of shastras and all, you want to learn Sanskrit. So he worships the Lord to learn. And the last one is called jnani, one who is the person with perfect knowledge of Paramatma. He is called jnani. And then after that now, Bhagavan said that among the 4 of them, the best is jnani. The best is jnani. Why? He just worships Bhagavan for no reason. He cannot help himself. When you helplessly do something, for no reason at all, he worships. All the rest have some selfish motive. I want this or want that. I want health. I want wealth. I want knowledge. Like that. They want something. But jnani, why he worships? No reason. His nature is just to worship. Like the sun shines for what reason? Well, his nature is just to shine. The sun doesn't say, oh, if I don't shine today, these people will not get up, I better shine. He's just shining all the time. So the jnani worships Bhagavan just like that only. He's just worshipping Bhagavan all the time. So he is the best type of devotee. When asked, which is the best jnani? He's gone, no. Whatever we just chanted, those people who want something and they worship Bhagavan, Bhagavan says, Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktaha Tasyaradhana Mihate. When they worship me, I strengthen their Shraddha, their faith, by granting whatever they want. Whatever we get in this world, it's being dispensed by Bhagavan only. He is karma phala data. He is the one who dispenses everything in this world. So they are getting that because of me only, whatever they wish for, like that. But now he changes the tune. And I told you he's building a case. Now you see those basic steps I told you. That there are 4 types of devotees. Among the 4, the best is the jnani. The other three, they have some selfish motive, but still they are called devotees because they realize that their selfish motive will only be fulfilled by worshipping Bhagwan. So they are still devotees. So now, he says, they get the results because the results are dispensed by me only. So to take that the step further now, and to build his case now, he says, but one thing I have to tell you. Whatever results anybody pray for in this world, whether the person is Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, whatever results we pray for, things we pray for in this world, he says, Antavattu phalam tesham. Antavattu phalam means that thing is short-lived. Anything we pray for in this world, that thing is short-lived. You think, this is a very simple, logical, rational thing. You just have to think about that. You tell me one thing in your possession which will last forever. You can't point out anything. There's not a single thing in our possession that will last forever. Everything in this world comes and goes. So if I'm worshipping for Bhagwan for something in this world, see, if I tell Bhagwan, see, right now I have some pain, some back pain or something, right? And when I worship Bhagwan, please, look, see, I can pain my elbow. I worship Bhagwan for the pain to go away. So that pain goes away. Is that any guarantee that another pain on the other elbow will not come back at some other time? No. There's no guarantee of anything. So now, the moment Bhagwan puts this word here, what is that? That all the worldly things that we wish for, pray for, they're antavattu. Antavat means they have an end. They are temporary. They will only last for a certain time. And he uses a very strong word at the end of this line. He said, they are called such people, they are called as Alpamedhasam. Alpamedha. Alpamedha means those people who really don't understand things properly. So now what is Bhagwan's case? What is he trying to build? He is trying to make a case for desiring something beyond this world. Because the people who worship him for anything in this world, he is calling it Alpamedhasam, means dull-witted, foolish, of little understanding. If we go on seeking, using the Lord to get things in this world, he says such people are Alpamedhasam. That's a very strong word. Sometimes I don't like to translate also. Foolish. Let me just tell you the literal meaning of Alpamedha. Alpamedha means of little brain, little intellect, little understanding, little like that. Alpa in Sanskrit means little. So now how Bhagwan is insulting, he does also what to do. But Bhagwan has to tell the truth. In other words, he is making a case for giving up praying to Bhagwan, worshipping Bhagwan for anything worldly, because that thing is antavat, and he's making a case to why don't you worship Bhagwan for something which is permanent and not something which is antavat, which is temporary, which is going to come to an end. This is his case. Param bhava, for those people, now see the next line, very famous line, very so nice. Devan deva yajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. And the second line of that verse says, but those people who worship the devas go to the devas, and those people who worship me come to me. So that is just used symbolically to tell those people who worship the Lord for worldly things remain worldly people. And those people who worship the Lord for the Lord, they become divine people. That is the translation of that in ordinary language. Those who worship the Lord for worldly things remain worldly. And those who worship Bhagwan for Bhagwan, they become divine. So that is but this is Bhagwan's case. So he laid his case down. And we have spoken previously, in so many temples we've been speaking. Really speaking, if you see, the world is made up of a duality. And there is this part, and there is this part. I'm sure all of you would have heard this line. Just one line I'll sing. Only one line I know actually. दो रंग दुनिया के और दो रास्ते, दो रंग दुनिया के और दो रास्ते, रूप जीवन के और दो वास्ते, रूप जीवन के और दो वास्ते।
Making its own music.
Yeah. That harmonium is playing something which I am not playing.
पर भूख सवार है।
Okay. It says in this world there are two paths. Now, you see where Bhagwan is jumping from. Just now he was saying there are 4 types of devotees. Be careful, eh? There are 4 types of devotees, but there are not 4 paths. The first 3 types of devotees, they fit into one category. And the Jnani, he fits in one category all by himself. And there are 2 paths. दो रंग दुनिया में के और दो रास्ते. There are 2 colors, literally mean colors, but there are 2 paths. This will come very strongly in the next chapter as well. Chapter 8 is going to come back. So if you missed out anything, don't worry. So now, in the song which is very famous, film song, is giving 2 parts. In Bhagavad Gita, the 2 parts are also being given now. Bhagavan melts down the whole chapter into these 2 parts. There's a worldly part and there's a spiritual part. And if I go on worshipping the Lord for worldly things, that means I have chosen the worldly path. I'm sure all of you would have heard this Sundarkand Chappai. Listen to this. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai सुमति कुमति सब, सुमति कुमति सब में उर रही, नाथ पुराण निगम सही। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. In everybody's heart there is the equal propensity to choose this path or to choose this path, to choose Sumati or to choose Kumati. Every moment, every single living moment. Right now you can choose to listen to this Bhagavad Gita discourse, or you can choose to allow your mind to roam here and there and not listen to anything in Gita. That choice is there in your hand right now or not? It is there. So if I choose to make the right choice, that time I have chosen Sumati. And if I make the wrong choice, it is called as Kumati. But that is there in every single person's possession. Sumati Kumati sabke ur rahe. This duality runs from the beginning to the end of Vedas. All the way into Ramcharitmanas and into this Bhagavad Gita. Now we are seeing in every scripture, one thread is running like that. And it will run in this, in 7th chapter, it will go all the way down to the 18th chapter. We have the choice to choose the spiritual path, and we have the choice to choose the worldly path. The spiritual path is a path of no return. Yad gatva nani vartante tad dhama paramam mama. Having reached where there is no return to the sansara. And the worldly path is the path of return. He will tell in these terms in the next chapter. So, that choice, he tells Arjuna in the 18th chapter, my dear, I am telling you about these two paths right now, and it is up to you. Vimrishayatadasheshena. Think about the two very carefully, and now, yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. As is your wish, you choose one of these paths. I have told you, this path will lead to eternity. This path will lead to return to this world, and the repeated punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, again and again birth, again and again death, and again suffering. Dukkhayonaya evate, he calls it. The very womb of all sorrow is this samsara. But you are free to choose that. So Bhagavan is making a case now here for these two paths. For he said, those who choose this path, now see, there are also connections, a lot of connections to be made. We only have 108 days to finish this whole Gita, which is a big task. Antavattu means things which are temporary, is necessarily, not remotely, necessarily connected to sorrow. The worldly path is necessarily connected to sorrow. I'll show you how. The nature of the changing world and things having a beginning and end is like this. See, whatever you want to end doesn't end. And whatever you do not want to end, it ends. I'll show you how. Everything in your life. When there's some sorrow, some disease, some sickness, some misery, you want it to end, but the thing takes forever. Of course, by rule it will end, but it takes forever. And when you're having a good time, you don't want it to end. But then what happens? It ends in no time. Like, I don't want my black hair to end. Right? But then what? Not only it turns grey, it drops out too. Both. But I didn't want it to end, but it ended. Antavat. And the arthritis which I have in my knee, I want it to end. But then, I went by every doctor. Homeopathy, allopathy. I tried Pashupati also. Every pati. And nothing worked. Doesn't end. So that, because the nature of the world is like that, anything which is temporary, it operates like this, it results in sorrow. Because when it doesn't end and I wanted it to end, I'm in misery. So that every word is connected to our ordinary living in this way. But anyway, Bhagavan says now, those who choose the worldly path, those who worship Bhagavan for worldly things, they come back to this world only. And those who worship Bhagavan for Bhagavan, they reach, he says, Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi. They come to me, they merge with me. And in 8th chapter, he'll take that further. Now, I think that is what was finished so far. And we have to see now from number 24. See that? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam buddhayah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Param bhavama janantah mama vyaktyayamuttamam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Naham prakash sarvasya yogamaya samavritah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mam jamavyayam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abuddhaya. Bhagavan is using the same word again. Just now we saw that word alpamedhasam. Alpamedhasam means foolish people. He likes these type of words come throughout the Bhagavad Gita. People, now he says, he's used abuddhaya, same meaning. This is literally what you call synonyms. Foolish, of little intellect, little understanding. So now people ask one question, let me just tell you, how Bhagavan can be so cruel to call people alpa buddhi, little brain, bird brain. In English you have some words like that. How he can be so cruel to say such things? Look here, I want to tell you one point in this regard. In Sanatan Dharma, right? In Sanatan Dharma, we do not teach, in English language, you hear so many phrases, right? In the Western world. Because in the Western world, the civilization is not old enough to have really inspected every part of this manifested universe. It is the Rishi tradition which is ancient and which has really thought about everything philosophically possible. They have already thought about that. And so there are many, many phrases and words and ideas which they long gave up because it's useless to say. And this is one of them. In the West, you are taught all the time, you have to think positive. Have you heard that phrase? You have to think positive. That's a very regular phrase we use in the West. Think positive. Think positive. And along with that, we have many, many phrases where say, don't worry, there's always a silver lining in every dark cloud. Have you heard? And there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's hope, and all that kind of thing, right? Those type of phrases are not there in our Shastras. I want you to tell me, think positive. What is the Sanskrit equivalent for that? We do not have a Sanskrit equivalent. So what the thinking of the rishis is like this. Please see this. Think real. Think real. And I'll tell you what that means. Real means, in this world in which you live, there will be some animals that you can pet, like a rabbit, or some, like a dog or a cat, you can pet them, right? And there are some animals in this world, like a lion or tiger, you can't go on. We could go try, if you don't believe. But you'll do like that? No. We live in a world, I just told you, we live in a world of duality. And if you live in a world of duality, there will be hot and cold. There will be rich and poor. There will be knowledgeable and there will be ignorant. There will be gain and loss. There will be victory and defeat. That is the first and foremost foundation of the universe. You are living in a world of duality. Now, if we are living in a world of duality, you will meet people who are very smart, and in the same way, you will meet people who are very foolish also, correct? Because you're living in a world of duality. And in today's world, more and more, we feel that there are certain phrases and certain words and also description and all, somehow we are trying to shun those words. Every day they are changing some word into some other word, because no, that word not so good, it doesn't reflect good on people. Then that is when we are starting to depart from reality. And the rishis are telling us, Are bhai, look here. You just look at the world in front of you with a very sober, balanced mind and see from a very ordinary level. Just as you have hot, you will have cold. As you have good, you will have evil. As you have rich, you will have poor. As you have knowledgeable, you will have ignorant. As you have wise, you will have foolish. Correct? That is also a simple world. But Western thinking actually tries to take our mind away. So now when Bhagavan says, well, alpamedasam, abuddhayaha, foolish. Bhagavan is just telling about a reality of the manifested universe. So it's not really cruel or anything. Because you have evolved a different type of cultural thinking, where you don't want to say certain things because you feel it will hurt somebody's sentiments, and you subscribe to some kind of wokeism and this and that, all kind of thing going on in this world today. You feel like that, right? So now what you feel, what you think, you're trying to superimpose that on Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is just telling, in this world, and in the same Bhagavad Gita, he will talk about those people who are buddhiman, tattvavit, brahmavit. So he'll mention that, but not everybody brahmavit, you will have the other side also. The opposite. You see? So Bhagavan is not cruel or anything, he's just mentioning to all of us a reality which is in front of us. And I told you the Rishi tradition is to think real. You cannot go and say, no. Let me tell you, one teacher was teaching the students like that, right? So in the teaching, the teacher told, Bhagwan exists in everything. The Lord exists equally in. We saw that in the 5th chapter when we were seeing here also. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane kapayastini shunichaya vashapake chaityadi. We saw this. He exists equally in all things. So after the class, the 2 students went out, and an elephant in the village ran amok and started breaking down everything and tearing down the whole village. And one of the students, he ran away. And the other student, no, my guru told me, no, Bhagwan is in this elephant also. So he stood there. Well, while elephant had run amok, came and threw him like 100 yards and fell and broke every bone in his body. So while it is true that Bhagwan exists in everything, Bhagwan is there pervading the whole universe. He pervades the positive, what we call positive things, and the negative things equally, right? But did Bhagwan tell anywhere that in Bhagavad Gita that I am there? See, Samoham sarvabhuteshu, I am there equally in all things. So he himself is telling. Or Vasudeva sarvamiti, he is telling all of this. Yes, I am present in all. But in any way in Bhagavad Gita, did he tell you to go and pet a lion because I am in there? Just 2 different things. He pervades all things, positive and negative, but he doesn't tell you, go, okay, I am there in the lion, go pet. You could go pet if you want. Here, nice lion, come here, kitty. No. Bhagwan is present in all the things, but you know you're living in a world where there is real joy and real sorrow. Real ananda and real misery, correct? So we have to live with those rules, you see. So thinking about all of these things, don't think that Bhagwan is making any harsh statement and blame the poor Lord. Oh, he's calling some people alpa buddhi, he's calling some people alpa medasam, all of that sort of thing. That is a real world he's talking about. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama abuddhaya. Now what is he telling about these people? They think that I have left my avyakta form, means unmanifest form, and I have become manifest as Krishna. He's actually referring to his form as Krishna. So, but remember, it is Bhagwan Vishnu who has taken the avatar as Krishna, right? So they think that, oh, he has left his, people think along all of these lines, wrong thinking, but he's just talking about the wrong thinking. That he was there, in Vaikunt as Vishnu, and now he has come here as Krishna. So now who is there in Vaikunt? Nobody, absent, the seat empty. Don't ever think like that, No such thing. I'll tell you how you have to think. See, who wrote Ramcharitmanas? Who wrote the Ramayana of Tulsidaji, Ramcharitmanas? Tulsidaji writes in Balkhan, he says, listen to all this story now. He says, Rachi Mahesa Nija Manasa Rakha. Bhagwan Shiva composed that Ramcharitmanas. Pai Susamo Sivasana Bhasha. And when he got the right time, he told it to Parvati ji, and then he told it to the rishis, and then so many places. And Kakbhushundi also heard, and that, like Yajnavalkya was present the first time among the rishis and all. And that came down, whatever. Right? So Bhagwan Shiva is composed the Ramcharitmanas. Then later on, when Bhagwan Vishnu really took avatar, Bhagwan Shiva thought, I will go there and also help Bhagwan Ram to remove that Ravan. So he came as Hanumanji. He came as Hanuman. So now, at the beginning of the Ramcharitmanas, finally he started telling the story which he had kept in his mind for a long time. He started telling it to Parvati ji. And that also happened to be the same time Bhagwan Sri Ram had come. So now he's sitting and telling the story to Parvati ji in Kailash, and he's playing here Hanumanji at the same time. So it's not that when he takes avatar as Hanumanji, he becomes absent there. Usually we think, oh, Lord Shiva came as Hanumanji. So Kailash empty now. We have like this lot of wrong thinking. So Bhagavan has the people who are alpamedasam, abuddhaya, they have all sorts of wrong thinking and understanding about me. And based on the wrong thinking, we have wrong teaching and wrong comments and lot of wrong things, anything. He said, the person who chooses the worldly path, this is where he ends up. Understanding everything wrong about Bhagavan. The one who chooses the worldly path. And such people, param bhavam ajanantaha, not knowing my supreme state. The one who chooses the worldly path will never ever come to know Bhagavan's supreme state. Param bhavam ajanantaha, mam avyayam anuttamam. They will never understand me as the unmanifest, unchanging and supreme. Who? So this verse really is about what I was telling you in the previous verse. Those people who choose the worldly path. Because I choose the path of materialism, I choose the path of change, I choose the path of sorrow, I choose the path of rebirth, I choose that kind of thing. And when I choose that, I will never be able to understand the Paramatma, Parambhavam, the supreme state which is unchanging. And look here, if you choose boxing as your career, how you will know about cricket? Every day you boxing, right? One fellow, he decided to become a boxer, like this. So he went and he met a teacher to teach him boxing. So the teacher said, oh, you want to learn boxing? Yeah, please teach me boxing. Okay, take these 2 gloves. He gave him 2 gloves. Put on the 2 gloves. Now box with me. So this fellow, well, of course he doesn't know how to box. So that teacher gave him about 20 shots like that. That fellow fell flat on the ground. And then he asked, he helped him up on his foot again, on his feet. Okay. This is your first lesson. You have any question? He said, yes. Do you have any online courses, this thing? Because he get a good beating or he want to learn that online. But anyway, so the idea is, if you choose boxing, you will know about boxing. If you choose cricket, you will know about cricket. So the people who choose worldly things will only know about worldly things. Param bhavama janantaha means never they will come to know the supreme state of Bhagavan. And the teaching of the Gita, the drift of the Gita, and the gati, which is expected in Bhagavad Gita, destiny, is that one comes to know the supreme reality. That is the idea. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha. I enveloped by my yoga maya, means hidden right behind this manifested universe. Right behind the manifested universe, murhoyam na abhijanati. The deluded, alpa buddhi, which I just spoken about, never come to know me. I who am right behind this manifested universe. Now I'll just give you a simple example. All of you would have experienced this in your life. You're looking for something in the house. You're looking for something in your house and the thing right in front of your eye and you can't see it. I remember, now enter the ashram. I'm going to study in India. One brahmachari he had a folder like this, one of those binder folder. And I went to ask him some question. Of course, we came from this part of the world. When we go there, we know nothing. All the other brahmacharis, they came from India only right there. So they know so many things. So new brahmachari, I went to ask some question in Sanskrit. Then he explained to me, yeah, I have it right here. I'll show you. And he has the folder here. And he has the Sanskrit sheet under the folder. And he's looking everywhere for it. But I had it just now. Where is it? And he's holding it. Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives The example of the wife wearing the necklace, they're getting dressed to go to a wedding or something. She's already wearing it. And then she's asking the husband, have you seen my necklace? Then the husband has, but you're wearing it. It's right there. Those type of examples are given. But anyway, you would have experienced this in your life. So in the same way, Bhagwan is right here, right in front of our eyes, but we see the Nama Rupa manifested universe, which is the product of Bhagwan's Yoga Maya. We see all the names and colors and forms and all that in front of us. But that which is the substance, the fundamental material from which all the things are made up, that Paramatma, which is right beneath, right there, we don't see. Like a clay pot. When you go there, you see the height of the pot is 2 feet. The pot is 1.5 foot diameter, like that, you say. And you're calculating now that size, 1.5 diameter by 2 feet high, by certain, and this color and this shade and all that, it will blend perfectly at that corner of my house, because there's that much space it will be there. It will be proportional, it will not look oversized in that space, and then because of the color of the pot, it will blend into the wall, and you're going on thinking all that thing, and that pot is nothing but clay, but we miss the clay. I think about height, color, shade, this, that, and forget that it is only clay. In the same way, we see all the names and forms in this world, and we forget it is Paramatma. Vasudeva Sarvamiti in this Gita is said. All this is Vasudeva only. Same one Paramatma. So Bhagavan says, Mudhoyam na abhijanati lokoyam mam ajamabhyayam. They cannot see, deluded as we are, we cannot see the Paramatma, which is right here. He is not revealed as though, like that. He, that Lord, knows all things past, present and future, he claims, tells in the next verse. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Chadvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Haribo.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani. Means to say, Veda aham means I know. There's a one sentence. What a short sentence. I know. Bhagavan says, he knows. What he knows? Samatitani, bhutani samatitani, all about all beings that have gone. Vartamanani, all about present of all beings also that are here now, and all about all beings that will come bhavishyani, in future. Means I know past, present and future about all beings. Means he knows everything about all of us. And all beings mean all beings, and even an ant. You see, if an ant is passing here, right? If an ant is passing here, then we don't know in the previous life that ant was an elephant, or it was a turtle, or it was an eagle, or we don't know. And then when that ant dies in a few days, it will become what? We don't know. But Bhagavan knows every single thing about every single being. Now what a magnitude of knowledge. It is incredible. That's mind-boggling, Bhagavan's knowledge. But Veda aham, I know. And then Mam tu Veda na kaschana. But nobody knows me. Look here. When Lakshmana asked Bhagavan, what is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara? Lakshmana asked Bhagavan Ram, what is the difference between Jiva, you and I, Jiva. Start using that word. We are called the Jiva. And Ishvara. Bhagavan Ram says,
रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम.
The summation of those two lines from Ramcharitmanas is, the Jiva is the one who knows nothing, and Ishvara is the one who knows everything. But it is usually, we think the opposite. This Jiva feels he knows everything. You just have to start any topic. You just start any topic. And the Jiva will give his 2 cents worth going down the road about any topic. And he thinks he knows, what he knows is also correct thing, isn't it? And Bhagavan tells to Lakshmana, Maya isana apu kahu jan kahiya so Jeev. Jeev is the one who knows nothing about Maya, this manifested universe. He knows nothing about himself, and he knows nothing about Paramatma. And the other thing about his Jiva is he thinks he knows everything. And Ishvara is the other one who knows all things. So Bhagavan is telling the same thing here in this verse. I am the one who knows everything about every being. And I know people come, if you really study the implications of all of these things, right? Like for example, one man was telling me, I was telling, all these real story, I was telling, अरे भाई आज जो सत्संग है चलिए सत्संग जाएंगे मंदिर. I told we'll come today satsang in the mandir. Thursday we have satsang in mandir. Chalo, we'll go satsang. No, I can't go. क्यों नहीं जा सकते? Why you can't go? Because today I ate meat. I ate meat, so I can't go satsang in the temple. This is logic, This is his logic. I look here. So if you go satsang in the temple after you ate the meat, right? When you ate the meat, Bhagavan did not know. But Bhagavan himself is saying, I know. Everything already. You know one more thing I tell you? This will come up in 15th chapter. You will not be there, we'll be somewhere in Nishikuibo or something. Bhagavan says in the 15th chapter there that I am there in your stomach. He's using the first person singular. I am there. Pachami annam chaturvidam. He says, I am there in your stomach. Vaishvanaru, along with the Vaishvanara fire. I am there in your stomach, digesting the 4 types of food which you eat. Right? So now, the fella ate the meat and it fall on top of Bhagwan's head in his stomach. And now when he said, Chalo, let's go satsang. He said, no, I can't go satsang. Why? I ate meat. But the meat already fall on top of Bhagwan's head. Because Bhagavan himself is telling, Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidam. So, the jiva who really doesn't know anything comes because he's a jiva, he's connected to the world of change. And in this world, one more thing about knowing, why jiva cannot know. And that is why there is the strongest case in Bhagavad Gita, strongest case in Ramayana or Bhagavatam or whatever. The strongest case for all of us is to surrender to Paramatma. Because really you cannot know anything in this world. Science also cannot know anything in this world. Every 10 years, science changes every theory that they have. When we were going to school, light traveled in a straight line, couldn't bend. When I was going to school in the 70s and 80s, light traveled in a straight line. That was the teaching in science. Today, that changed. When light meets some great gravitational force out in space, it bends. One of these days they might harness that power also. So you could flashlight could flash around the corner. But anyway, science changes also. On and on, and now you don't know what to believe. I remember years and years they were telling that when you eat too much sugar, you get diabetes. Huh? When you eat sugar, you get sugar. And one man, I was telling him, have some chai. He said, no, I can't have chai. That chai has sugar. I am already sweet. I said, what do you mean you're already sweet? I have diabetes. So he already sweet, he cannot have the chai. But anyway, the idea is, they used to tell that when you eat too much sugar, you consume too much sugar, you will get diabetes. Then that lasted for many, many years. Then some other research came up. What is that? Now I don't think sugar gives sugar. There's some internal defect, it's not sugar. That doesn't cause diabetes. So they change. That lasts for 10 years. Then again, change. You know, all of you study science and physics and all in school. They said, science is telling that the universe started with a big bang. Have you heard? Some big bang. Well, I'm telling you, there are many, countless scientists today who have alternative view. It did not start with any big bang. So now, some scientists say it started with big bang, and some scientists say it did not start with any big bang. And now science also is now trying to grapple with the idea that it might be eternal, what the rishis have been teaching for a long time. It has always been there. It didn't start with any big bang or anything. Now science also doesn't know, the jiva doesn't know. And you know why we can't know? That is then Vedic teaching. We cannot know because, let me demonstrate to you the nature of the manifested Prakriti. Please pay attention to this. If I say, this moment, listen to this statement. This moment. Arey bhaiya, by the time I am finished saying the sentence, that moment has? That is correct or not? There is no such thing as this moment. You can't finish saying the sentence. What to say if I think it even? That is because the Prakriti in Sanskrit is called a Vyaya Prakriti. Vyaya is a tremendous Sanskrit word. Vyaya means that which is changing every moment. Now we're not talking about second in English. Its nature is it is going like this. It doesn't stop even for a second. It's called Vyaya Prakriti. And Bhagavan is telling you, I am Avyaya. He is Avyaya. Everything else is Vyaya. Now if something is changing every moment, how you will know it? You can't know it because by the time you really figure out, it is already changed. That is why science will never figure out this universe. That is why they are trying to grapple with the fact now, it might be eternal. It might be anadi. That's the Sanskrit word for that. Beginningless. Anadi. And they're spending billions and trillions of dollars to find out that. And we told, Arey bhai, all you scientists spending trillions of dollars to discover that the universe is anadi, beginningless. You could have just buy a Upanishad for $2 and you would have find out all of that. So the Bhagwan is the one who knows every single thing. The Jiva is the one who knows nothing. And usually it is upside down. And the Jiva cannot know anything. That's what I'm telling. The Jiva cannot know anything. Because he is living in a universe that is all the time changing. If this doesn't humble, if this type of teaching doesn't humble a person who thinks he knows too much and dissolve the ego, nothing can. Tulsidas ji writes in Ramcharitmanas about this thing. But please pay attention to this. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
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 Charit Ram ke Sagun Bhavani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Karkin gahi buddhi man pani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
As vichari jai param viragi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
As vichari jai param viragi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Ram hi bhajan sarv sab tyagi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Ram hi bhajan tark sab tyagi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jai
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Tulsidas ji writes the most wonderful. Look here. We are all trying to figure out Paramatma, the supreme reality, which is Avyaya, unchanging reality, which is Bhagavan just called Param, beyond the ken of all our senses and mind and everything. Tulsidas is the way you're trying to figure out that this manifested universe of Bhagavan we cannot figure out. Nobody could figure out. Saguna Ram. Saguna Ram means this is Saguna Ram. Charita Ram ke Saguna Bhavani. The Saguna Ram we cannot figure out. What to talk about figure out? That which is Nirguna. Therefore, asabichari je paramabiragi, those great vairagis who have really given this some thought, who have given all of this some thought, and jiva comes to term with the fact, this jiva comes to term with the fact that it is really not possible to know anything concrete in this world, because the moment we know it, it changes. Science cannot figure it out. Nobody, Tulsidas is writing, nobody can figure it out. And therefore they develop vairagya. And what they do? Ramahi bhajahi. Tarka sabatyagi. All this intellectualization and rationalization and all of these things, they drop it and they surrender to Bhagwan Ram. This is the 7th chapter where Bhakti Yoga is starting, and this is the kind of teaching that is going to be on all the way till chapter 12. One has to give up totally one's all feeling that I know this and I am such and I do this and I am so great, and surrender to Bhagwan Krishna, surrender to the Lord. So, Mam tu Vedana Kachana, no jiva could figure out Paramatma. You only have to surrender to Paramatma and merge with it. That is the idea. And in the next verse, the same idea which I told you about the duality of this world, how we are all caught in this duality, you know that. I'm sure all of you heard this. चलती चाकी देख कर सो दिया कबीरा रो,
चलती चाकी देख कर सो दिया कबीरा रो,
दो पाथन के बीचिया, दो पाथन के बीचिया, साबत बचा न कोई कबीरा, साबत बचा न कोई। Kabir Sahib went to somebody's house and he saw that chaki, Here we used to call, in Trinidad we used to call it jata. I don't know what you all call it in Guyana. 2 stones are there, 2 round stones, this size. One stone is fixed on the ground, like that, flat, and the one on the top has a handle and it turns. You have such a thing in Guyana? No? We still have a few in Trinidad. So the top one turns on the bottom one. The bottom one is stationary. And in the middle, there's a pole called kili. So in that middle, they put grains down in that little crevice. And the grains get between the 2 stones because the top one is turning with a handle. And he said, when he saw that in the house, he cried. Diya Kabira roy. He cried. And why he cried? Because it reminded him of the plight of the jiva. This jiva. That all of us are caught in this duality. And just like that grain that goes, Diya Kabira roy, means he cried because no grain can be saved once he gets in between those 2 stones. He'll be pulverized. Well, in the same way, this jiva, all of us, we are caught between the 2 stones of duality in this universe, of life, of birth and death. And in between there, all the countless pairs of the duality. So one day happy, one day miserable, one day healthy, one day sick, one day in a good mood, one day in a bad mood. This is the duality in which we are caught. And then after all of that also, the birth, we are born, and then finally we'll go. Only to come for another round. And again that thing is repeated. So when he saw the two stones there, it reminded him of the plight of the jiva, and it made him cry. That is the famous doha, I'm sure all of you would have heard it already. That duality runs like a thread throughout this Bhagavad Gita from beginning to end. And if you see the story, it is always like this. There is this part for Arjuna to stay and fight, and there is this part for Arjuna to run away. Two again, right? And he tells him, if you choose this part, you will reach such and such place. If you choose this part, you will get such and such result. Like that. So there is a duality there. So the Gita starts actually with this whole duality. And then just now we were talking about the duality of what? Those who are worldly people, who return to the cycle of birth and death, and those who are wise people who choose Bhagwan and Bhagwan alone, and those people who merge with Bhagwan. So again, this duality throughout the Bhagavad Gita, this thing is going to be like this till the end, and that choice is in our hands. So now in these verses he says, Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti paranta. It's a very nice verse. Let me see how much I've gone beyond my time. That is only because of advice from Siri. So I'll just finish this verse now, and I know we are supposed to finish at 8:30. Now it is 8:33. But I will go on a little bit. Please don't get angry with me. Because I came a little bit late. So he said I should make up for that time. Alright. So Ichha Dvesha, that is things to which we are attracted and we desire, and all such Ichha and Dvesha, things which we try to shun, we don't like. So desirable things and undesirable things. So you're seeing the duality again, right? Things which are desirable and things which are undesirable, or things which we like and things which we don't like. This is the easy way. Likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham. All beings, all of us are caught in this duality and totally deluded in the duality. And this is no joke thing. Usually we like to think about ourselves that we are very smart and we are educated and we are knowledgeable and we are, we are in control of things and all of that kind of thing. But Bhagavan says we are all deluded, caught between this duality. And we think we know, but really, if you really see, and now I can go on telling you hours of discourses on this thing. Let me just give you a simple example. Look here. How we are deluded, caught up in this world. I'll give a simple example. In the scriptures, like if you go to the Mandukya Upanishad, for instance, there is a big karika that follows the Mandukya Upanishad with so many wonderful esoteric teachings. So one of the basic teachings in the Mandukya karika is like this. All of us, we are born, and it says Sarge Yanti Parantapa. From the beginning, we are born like this. What we are born like? We are born in delusion and ignorance. We are born like that. So that is the state of tamas. Tamas means dullness. A child, he doesn't know anything. So ignorance, dullness, tamas, that kind of thing, we are born like that. Right? So the karika tells we are supposed to move from that tamas, move from the tamas and move to some rajas. So we have to tell the child, hey, bhai, you're sleeping, it is already, sun has arisen, wake up. How many parents have to wake up their children? Our parents have to wake us up also, right? So you have to get him out of his tamas and get him into some rajas activity, move. So So, and one father was trying to get that boy out of that bed. And he said, "Son, wake up. The early bird catches the worm." You know that? You know his English statement. I'm sure all of you heard that. The early bird catches the worm. He said, "Dad, that is exactly my point. You see what happened to that poor worm? He got up early. He got up early. You know what happened to him?" So the boy turned the argument on his father only. But I have a nice formula for people who cannot get up in the morning. People who cannot get up in the morning, right? What you have to feed them, you know? You have to feed them yeast. You know what's yeast? That you use in bread and all. You have to feed them yeast and boot polish. Boot polish, you know, you shine your boots. You have to feed them yeast and boot polish. Man, in the morning they'll rise and shine. But anyway, the Karika is telling that you have to move from this tamas, you have to move to rajas, activity. And from rajas, you have to move, this is a nice train, to sattva. Where I now, from all my frenzied activities and all of that, I learn how to study the Shastras and sit very quietly, bring the mind inside. Atma samstham manakritva nakinchidapi chintayet. The 6th chapter, you have seen that. And stay quiet in a state of sattva. So what is the drift of the Shastra? What is he teaching? Move from tamas to rajas to sattva. This is the teaching in the Vedic tradition. I'll tell you how this civilization has become so deluded. Today, Bhagavan is talking about deluded by despair, by the duality, right? The civilization has become so deluded, we are moving in the opposite direction. I'll tell you how. Look here. Now you tell me if you're not seeing this all around. Whatever sattvic brain power that we have right now, the whole civilization I'm talking about, the whole humanity, whatever sattvic brain power, thinking capacity, intellectual might that we have right now, we are using that to find out how to work and harness the nature and to master the nature and to conquer the prakriti and all of that and make it work for us. Make the whole prakriti work for us. So right now when I was in university, it was coming to computers. So we'll get the computers to do everything for us. Then later on it went to the robots. And then now it has gone to AI, correct? So we're using whatever brain power and intellectual sattvic might that we have to get all things working, means to make the rajas work for us. And the end goal of all of this modern civilization, development and advancement is, in the end, I will have nothing to do. Then you have nothing to do what? Tamas like anything. Everywhere where all the teaching is there, they're telling how to make money and how to do this and how to invest and how to do that. So that in the end, what you will have to do? Nothing. The end goal is not sattva and meditation and enlightenment and all that. All the technology and all the development you are seeing in the world, there is no end goal like that. To reach sattva and to reach paramatma and to get mukti and all, that is sattva. The end goal is pure tamas. So this is how the civilization is now going. If the Shastra tells, go this way, the civilization is going that way. And actually we become prey to all this disease full time. We sold out big time to this type of disease. How? I'll tell you. You see, especially Indian people, we people. Every Indian parent will go on working and giving this to my children so that they will have nothing to do. So you're working your children into a corner of tamas. And you worked hard and you made it. You worked hard and you built. You worked hard and chastened your personality. You worked hard and it built you into the human being, dignified human being that you are. Why are you denying your children the right to do that? Why are you denying your children the opportunity to do that? Work makes a human being. But the whole civilization today, including us, we are working in the opposite. They will have nothing to do. I gone through suffering. I don't want them to suffer. Are bhaiya, suffering and hardship makes you into a human being. So we have bought into the tamas, bought into the delusion of the whole civilization. Now, recently somebody was driving me abroad in some car. He driving, left-hand drive, I sitting there. Suddenly I see Legodi staring, and he started talking to me now. So he watching me and talking. Forget the road. The car driving by itself. That is not sattva. If in doing that he had gone into a state of meditation, that is sattva. That's a different thing. He's gone into tamas of doing nothing. So Bhagavan says the whole plethora of beings, sarva bhutani, sammoham, totally deluded. And when he says sarge yanti parantapa, it is this phrase, I want you to remember this phrase. It is this phrase from the Bhagavad Gita, and there are a couple of other phrases, there's one in the second chapter also, that the Christian people took and they came up with the idea of original sin. You know, in Christianity they talk about something called original sin. This phrase means we are all born deluded. Born thinking I am this body when I am Satchitananda. Born thinking that I will die when I am Ajaha Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha in the second chapter. Thinking everything upside down. When I am born, I think these people are my parents. When I have had countless parents in the past, and I will have countless in the future. So all that is part of the delusion, and I am born that way. So that being born deluded is what they took, and they said we are born in sin or something like that. I don't know what they call it, some original sin. But we are born deluded. This is the word sarge, sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. All right, now I will stop. And this thing will continue somewhere. Let me see now. Tomorrow, day number 48, a spring lands Sanatana Mandir in Skeldon. Whoa. 8 to 9:30 a.m. So tomorrow morning all the way to Skeldon. Because it's Sunday, so we'll be having this satsang in the morning time. And when we were coming just now in town, that's what kept us in that traffic. There was some big carnival, something going on there. So I hope there's an alternative route, otherwise we'll reach 8:30 in the night. All right. We have made this bookmark for everybody. This is to mark this occasion of 108th night Gita throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. A bookmark is made for this occasion. There's one for everybody. Please have one on your way out. And then I will tell some other announcement. To Chanamma and Pandit, thank you so much for hosting us here tonight. We are always delighted to come to this mandir. I remember this place fondly for one reason. I remember the little temple in front, the flat building like that, way back in the day. And when I came back, I was so pleasantly surprised to see such a huge complex built up in its place. And it's because of the hard work of Baba and Amma and all the wonderful devotees of this area. Thank you all for having us, and it's a great pleasure for us to be here and to be met with such great hospitality as you have shown. Jai Shri Ram. All right, just a couple other announcements. On Saturday, which is this Saturday coming up, at our ashram in Manripo, I must say that Baba was telling in the beginning that we have Chinmay Mission branch here now in Guyana, and I remember the last time we came to this temple, we had told that we are going to have the branch of Chinmay Mission here and this and that and all that, and they also immensely helped that effort. And so much of the credit for establishing Chinmay Mission Guyana goes to Baba and Amma and all for setting up the ashram here. Panirajan has been an ardent supporter of Chinmay Mission, whether it is here or in New York or in Toronto, so that this mission can run in Guyana. And that is because he loves Guyana. Not that he loves Chinmay Mission. He loves Guyana. And that is the most wonderful thing that any person can have for their country. Love for it's called Desha Bhakti in our tradition. Anybody who has, because he knows that Chinmay Mission has something that it can give to Guyana, and therefore he is supporting Chinmay Mission because Chinmay Mission can deliver something to Guyana. So in the end, really, it is great love for Desh. And we just had the inauguration of Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir and all that kind of thing, and a verse that was going around, making the round, is a very famous verse from the Valmiki Ramayana, where Bhagwan Ram tells, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi, that one's mother and one's birthplace is greater than Swarga even. Greater than Swarga. And so when I meet people who have love for their country like that, I am really, really appreciative of such bhav. And that I have seen in Pandit in all my years of knowing him, and Amma, how they have worked. And they're not going to take anything with them. They're doing it for this country and for you. You see? So commendable. I really feel all of this bhav when I come here. All right. So Chinmay Mission is there now, established in Manripo. When you're passing in that area, please do drop in and see the ashram. Devji and Jinaji, they're there, and Brahmachari Dvijot is there. They're all posted here now. Dev and Jina were posted in Toronto for 10 years, and now they're posted permanently in Guyana. So they will be conducting all the classes, and there are so many classes of different types. Huh? All right. On Saturday, which is this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're having a small fundraiser at the ashram. And if you're passing, today's Saturday, I'm talking about the Saturday coming, right? If you're passing there, please drop by. We are making something called pizzoti. Now you may not know what is a pizzoti, but I'll tell you. In Trinidad, I don't know if you do it here in Guyana, but they make a big roti like this. Literally, it's that diameter. And it is stuffed with hot pepper. So they've been doing for a long time. It is actually named pepper roti. And if you survive this much piece eating, you will survive. So it is really hot. So some years ago, about 15-20 years ago, we tried an experiment at the ashram. We blended that roti, we made a hybrid with a pizza. So now that thing is called, you see, pepper roti and pizza. So it is called pizzoti. So on Saturday, we will be making pizzoti there at the ashram. to sell as a fundraiser on the side. So if you're in the area there between 11 and 2, please do drop in. All of you are invited to the grand finale of this 108th night yajna. It will take place on the 3rd of May at the Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground in Georgetown. On the 3rd of May, starts at 5 p.m. So after doing the 108 temples across the country, we'll have the conclusion there. Okay, everybody's invited. During the summertime, we have a Bhagavad Gita camp at the ashram for children. 3-week Bhagavad Gita camp from the 14th of July to the 1st of August. So please make an effort to send your children. We can perhaps arrange transport and all that kind of thing also. Right. Those people who are interested in studying this type of knowledge and doing this type of work, Chinmay Mission has a course that the person has to study. It's a very, very intensive and demanding course, and the classes start at 5:30 a.m. every single day. No holiday, not a single holiday, no Saturday, Sunday, Christmas Day, Diwali Day, nothing. No holiday. 5:30 a.m. and runs till 8 p.m. for every single day for 2 years. And the material covered in that course in 2 years is the same as is covered in a university setting in 15 years. That is how much material is covered. Now, the qualification for the course is you have to be 30 and under. You have to be unmarried, and you have to have a university degree. These are the qualifications. And if people qualify, then the ashram provides everything for such students. You come and stay for those 2 years in the ashram and study. It starts on the 2nd of October in the Trinidad ashram. This course is only conducted in these two places, in Mumbai and in Trinidad. So it starts on the 2nd of October, and if you know students who will be interested in this, please you pass the message around also. Alright? It is a rare opportunity where the ashram also is providing everything. In August, after the camp here, we have a camp in the Trinidad ashram also for adults and youngsters also, for everybody. If you are interested, please see Devji and Jinaji, you'll see them and you can find out about that camp. People will be coming from different parts of the world for that camp. Alright. In 2027, Chinmay Mission will be having its international camp in Trinidad. That camp usually is in some city somewhere. This year it's going to be in California, and next year it's going to be in New Jersey. But in 2027 it will be in Trinidad. For those of you who want to come, we can find out ways by which you can attend this camp also. Alright. It usually is held at the Hyatt in Port of Spain. Okay. Many titles are there at our bookstall at the back. Please have a look. Satsang Sadhana Panchakam. This book is a really small, nice book with 5 verses. Each verse has 8 sadhanas. So there are 40 sadhanas, spiritual practices for you to engage in. Please see that. Krishna Rocks. These are all titles for children. Krishna Rocks. Please see. And Bal Bhagavatam. Many adults tell me that they have a joy in reading this Bal Bhagavatam. Even though it's designed for children, adults get the benefit. Alright. And please don't forget to have a bookmark. Okay, we'll have Arati and we'll conclude this session. Bhagavad Gita Arati. Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita, Hariya Kamala Vihari,
Hariya Kamala Vihari,
Sundar Supunita.
Om Jai Bhagavad Gita.
शक्ति हरा
मय कामासक्ति हरा
तत्वज्ञान विकासिनी
तत्त्वज्ञान विकासिनी
विद्या ब्रह्म परा
ओम जय भगवत गीते
निश्चल भक्ति विदाई निर्मल मलहारी
मय निर्मल मलहारी
चरण रहस्य प्रदायी
शरण रहस्य प्रदायी
सब विधि सुखदायी
ओम जय भगवत गीते
राग द्वेष विदारी कारिणी मोद सदा
मय कारिणी मोद सदा
भयहारिणी तारिणी
भयहारिणी तारिणी
परमानंद प्रदा
ओम जय भगवत गीते
आसुर भाव विनाशिनी नाशिनी तमरजनी
मय नाशिनी तमरजनी
दैवी सद्गुणदायिनी
दैवी सद्गुणदायिनी
हरि रसिका सजनी
ओम जय भगवत गीते
समता त्याग सिखावन हरि मुख की बानी
मय हरि मुख की बानी
सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी
सकल शास्त्र की स्वामी
श्रुतियों की रानी
ओम जय भगवत गीते
दया सुभावर सावन मातु कृपा की जय
मय
मैया
मातु कृपा की जय
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
अपनों कर ली जय
ओम जय भगवत गीते
जय भगवत गीते
जय भगवत गीते हरि कमल विहारी हरि कमल विहारी सुंदर सुगीते ओम जय भगवत गीते
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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि
हरि
बोल
बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्षं मङ्गलाय तनो हरि मङ्गलाय तनो हरि मङ्गलाय तनो
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदं पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत। प्लीज ऑल